What's going on, guys? It is Madman Plant. We are back here at the Heritage Arts Tattoo Convention in Salem, Virginia, and I'm literally locking down people on podcasts now. We're moving, which I love. I got Carter here and her friend Katie. They didn't want to be on camera from the Front Porch Swing podcast,
Yes.
and we are going to talk a little bit about addiction, mental health, horses, cannabis, and tattoos.
Yes.
So this is really cool. So welcome, Carter, to the show.
Thank you.
My podcast is all about mental health, home growing, and then ultimately smoking, breaking down the stigma of cannabis using real people and real stories.
I love it.
So let's talk about why you're here today to begin with. Are you getting a tattoo?
I'm hoping to get a tattoo. Yes.
Oh, what are you going to get?
Well, so my dog, I love that you have a dog with you.
Honey?
Yeah. I have a dog and her name is Kita. And it's because she's got blue eyes. So she's named after the blue-eyed princess from Atlantis.
Nice. Okay.
So I'm hoping to get the Atlantis logo that was on the front of the Little Shepherd's book tattooed on me.
That's awesome. At the last tattoo convention, you can't really see it, but I got Honey's paw prints. So I feel you on getting the love and support of the animal in ink. You know what I mean?
I have one other tribute tattoo to I feel like he was my soul cat. His name was Elliot, and he is a tabby. He had forehead markers.
Okay.
So the M I got tattooed on my sternum.
That's awesome.
And I'm type of woo-woo where I think souls will come back and find you again. And I feel as if in my dog now is like the same type of love or the soul from my cat that passed away in 2018.
So when you say that you feel like it'll come back and visit you, what do you mean by that? And where does that? What type of faith does that like reside around?
Oh, I don't know if it's faith or just like something I want to believe in.
Okay.
But more of a feeling. I think my current dog was sent to me either by my cat. Yeah, or it is some type of reincarnation or soul grab of my previous animal in my dog now.
You know, one of the things with Honey and I dread it all the time because is more and more of our experiences together get better. I also know there'll be a time where we have to say goodbye.
Right, it'll hit hard.
And I always makes me emotional just thinking about it. But I do hope that I can feel like you do with your new animal and feel a sense of the old one, because I ask my wife Lacey all the time, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to replace Honey, and she tells me all the time, you're not. She's like, you're not.
Yeah.
And it just breaks my heart because I just want to be like, I want to clone you. I want to figure out, okay, how much it costs. I need like 10 of you.
I know. That's how I feel about my dog now. And my husband is in love with our dog, and he's never ever had a dog before.
Same. Honey was my first animal. Even though she's a service animal, you know.
Yeah.
I never owned the animal. When I grew up, it was all my sisters that got all the animals and stuff like that. So that's really cool about your husband. And you know, that's kind of the same connection that I have with Honey. Is everybody has a relationship with Honey. You know, my wife does, my child does, you know, anybody we meet. And I think it's just, they're just such beautiful creatures. And when you can have a true relationship with an animal like that, and not just like the animal where it like licks you in the face and it comes to you, but like I talk to Honey.
Yeah.
I tell Honey things. I told Honey that she's not a dog, that she's actually a human.
Right. You know we tell Kita all the time that she's our child.
Yeah.
Like, she deserves the world, and don't let anybody put her in a dog's place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with let's talk about the next animal, and then we'll get to some of the other parts. Let's talk about horses.
Yeah.
So you're a horse instructor and trainer.
Yes.
So you train the horse and the person.
Yes. Most of the time, not at the same time. But I have done an apprenticeship under a guy named Kenny Harlow, who is a horse trainer.
Okay.
And I've been instructing. Oh God. I've been riding for 20 years, and I've probably been instructing for the last 10. And I just recently quit a job where I was a barn manager working under somebody. And I recently quit and decided to work for myself. And now I'm kind of a freelance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, now you can make the money they made, and you can call your own shots. That's one thing I love about being a business owner. I've owned my own company for over 15 years. Good Luck Step Productions, which created Madman Plant. And one of the biggest things is there's so many different realms where you can lay when it comes to profession, and when you can become the boss and
Yeah.
really be in charge. Not only do you get, I think, more pride and sense because you're the one that gets the final inspection, the final say. You're the one that's looked at as the expert. But the fact that, it's a very hard thing to do and very risky to step on your own. But there's so many rewards to it.
Yes. Yeah, fully agree. Fully agree.
So, so my ex-girlfriend lived on a farm and she had a horse named Spunky, and it was a white Appaloosa. And it used to be a show horse back in the day. And I had a good relationship with it. And I love giving horses hugs. I think they smell good. Some people say they don't like the smell of horses. I do. I think they smell like baby powder. And anyways, I've ridden a little bit, not much, not nearly as much as you. But there was one time I got on Spunky and it was without a saddle, which I honestly prefer because I have short legs. So I feel like I can grip the horse better because, it's like holding on with your legs. And we got on a full sprint and I was holding onto its mane.
Yeah.
And we went down and I could,
Isn't
I steered it left and right.
Biggest adrenaline rush of like your life.
Yeah, I was scared I was going to fall off.
Yeah, because you want to curl up, but that's the wrong thing to do. To curl up and become a ball, you just fall off. You got to like kind of relax and stay long so that way you can stay draped over the side.
Yeah, it's I guess it's the gravity. If you ball up, your center of gravity gets higher.
Yeah.
So by relaxing, it's going to keep that constant weight down on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I did that one time, and it wasn't very long, but it was just one of the most. It's a memory that I'll always remember. So I think horses are just incredible creatures. If I ever get a chance to have a farm, I definitely plan on having some.
Yeah, they're amazing, and they're so therapeutic, not only for like physically but emotionally as well. They're one of the only creatures that mimic our patterns, and that's why a lot of people with disabilities or physical ailments will ride horses, because their walk pattern mimics our walk pattern, and it can help for just getting the feeling or the rotation of your hips. And the trot is kind of like the jog, and then the canter, the next step, is kind of like a skip. So it's very similar to the patterns that we have, and that's why a lot of people will go and get therapeutic horseback rides.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about addiction. One thing about on our podcast we talk heavily about is addiction, whether it's alcoholism, opiates, just eating too much chocolate. It could be anything, right? You just are 2 years sober, you said.
I'll be 2 years at the end of November. Yep.
Very cool. So talk a little bit about that past life and kind of what you were experiencing.
Well, from what I can remember,
it seems to be a blur for some reason.
So I had struggles with alcohol, and it was it was messy. What's your question? I have nothing. I'm so sorry. They're trying to trade up. They're trying to get things.
They do that on YouTube.
Yeah, see what they can start with and what they end with.
My goal is to trade that car up for that one right there. Yeah, you're gonna trade your way up to that General Lee.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to you.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I love kids. Yeah, it was definitely a prominent. So I don't remember part of my wedding, which is like kind of is rough.
Hopefully you had a videographer or photographer.
No, and I don't think I would want to. I don't think I would want to with how much I drank.
And with the police being called.
It could have. Thankfully, most people were staying on the property. I got married in this big farmhouse.
Okay.
And it kind of was almost like an Airbnb type thing.
Okay.
So family and friends got to stay there. Everybody else was on their own. got home somehow or another. One guy wanted to drive home, which would have been an absolute wreck because he was very intoxicated. Yeah, an open bar at my wedding was not a great idea. And then before I got sober, I went to a wedding and got completely trashed. I didn't make it to the cake cutting, and I was like, man, I don't want to keep doing this. I don't want, because at that point I felt like I was not only making a mess of myself, but now that's what they remember on their wedding day. They were having people escort me into the back of an Uber. Me and my husband had to go to the hotel early. Like, he didn't get cake. We didn't slow dance. Like, it just wasn't what they paid for, even though they had an open bar too. But you expect people to stay for dinner, stay for cake, stay for the dancing, stay for the DJ, and I didn't want to be that person anymore.
So what gave you the change? Like, what made you want to be like, you know what, I'm done?
I started talking and thinking about having a family, and I was like, well, if I want to take care of somebody else, I want to make sure that I can.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Take care of myself.
Yourself,
yeah. Yep. So, I don't have any children. I have my puppies. I have 2 dogs.
Okay.
But I got them after I got sober. So at a year of sobriety, I got Kita, which was very cool. I thought was a nice little way of adding on to the family and celebrating being a year sober.
That's awesome. I think it's a big thing when somebody that deals with addiction or something that says, I want to get better, and then actually does it. And you're all right. Even though you wanted a family, unless you're going to get better for yourself,
right?
You're just going to have problems again,
right?
And I think the biggest thing too is, when is enough, and that's
and I try to consider myself a very realistic and well-read and educated person, and alcohol is just bad for you. Like, it is scientifically proven. Yeah, maybe red wine or something has like antioxidants, and beer is mostly water.
Just like a glass of wine at night, but I'm really not a big drinker myself.
Yeah, and I mean, everything in moderation, right? Like, too much of anything can be bad, but there's not too much good that comes out of alcohol. And I'm stubborn too. I feel like now that I've hit almost a 2-year mark, and I feel like I have myself like under control. I've gone to many weddings, bridal parties, bridal showers, bachelorettes. Yeah, I haven't touched it, and the last couple I haven't like had a strong. I mean, I still want, and I still kind of feel out of place sometimes, but I feel like I have myself like handled. However, I feel like I don't want to ruin my streak. I don't want to go back and be like, well, no.
Well, it's like my wife. She keeps quitting cigarettes, and then she'll smoke another cigarette, and then she has this app on her phone, and she'll be like, "Look, I'm like 14 days." I'm like, "Yeah, but you just like quit 14 days ago again,
right?"
Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't really. Sorry, Lacey, threw her under the bus, but it's just funny because I think the biggest thing is like either you would do or you don't.
Yeah.
Either find a way to balance it out and get under control, or you just say, I'm gonna kick it completely.
Right. And I might not be it's under control type person when it comes to alcohol. Yeah. And
that's okay too.
Right.
As long as you know that, and that can empower you to make better decisions, because believe me, just like cannabis, it's not for everybody.
Right.
There's people that smoke weed and then like go jump off. No, I'm just kidding. Nobody jumps off a roof from smoking weed. No. But it's like anything. Like, you can freak out on anything.
Right.
That changes the thought process or substances in your head.
Right. Yeah, and it's about your brain chemistry. Like, if you are a natural person who's very paranoid or very skeptic, like, yeah, maybe weed's not the one for you, but other people works really well.
Works well for me, and it works well for you. You smoke?
Yes.
So that'll be our final topic. So talk about, do you grow? You smoke? What do you do?
I do not grow. I have seeds.
You should pop them.
I have thought about. I don't want to mess it up.
We have an SOP. We teach people how to grow weed at home.
Okay, I have the seeds. I have the time. I need to do more research. Again, I want to.
No, what you need to do is you need to plant the seed. You need to let it grow, see what it looks like, see how the plant responds, how it acts, and then take it as your first grow and then go to your next one. Or,
yeah,
get a clone and start from a clone where you already have the plant. Growing weed is so easy. Most people overthink it.
I have friends that do that grow their own.
Great. Do they grow indoor or outdoor?
They grow indoor. They have like a whole shed set up.
Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people think that you need I need a lot of space for growing weed. A 3x3 grow space, you could do a pounding easily if you know what you're doing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I need to start it. I don't know why I'm so nervous about starting the process.
Because people don't want to fail. They fear they're gonna mess up or it's not gonna come out right. And people don't like that. But here's the thing. You're not going to get better unless you fail, and you're not going to have the experience. I've learned more from failing and having to throw plants away, get bugs, whatever, than, just it all going okay.
Right. I mean, that's with everything, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
So with you, do you use cannabis for eating, sleeping, mental health, clarity, just recreational, or?
Recreational, sleep, and then joint pain.
Okay, yeah, great. Yeah, anti-inflammatory for sure.
Yeah. Riding horses for 20 years
That'll make your butt hurt.
will cause some creaky hips and
Yeah.
ankles and knees. Yeah. But yeah. No, I'd much rather have herbal medicine than taking a pill. I don't want to go to the doctor and say, "Oh, my hip hurts," and they give me pills or something like that. I'm much rather medicate with cannabis.
Well, that is awesome. Well, we are at our mark here. Where can people find you guys? I guess it's the Front Porch Swing podcast.
Yeah, Front Porch Swing podcast on Instagram and Spotify.
That's awesome.
We're not anywhere else.
Make sure you guys follow them.
Oh wait, are we also on TikTok?
You're on TikTok.
The podcast is on TikTok, but I am not. I don't know. But the podcast is.
Yeah, it's where you can find Katie and Carter.
Yeah. Right
here. And you guys are local to this area?
She is. I'm local to the 757.
You both need to come to my event. You got one of the cars. My friend lives in the 757. His Instagram handle is growing in the 757. The Chesapeake area, right? Yep. I'm in the 540, I guess, which is in Fredericksburg. So that's where I reside.
Okay.
Yep. And the event is in Richmond, which is the 804.
Yep. I have family in Richmond.
If you want to call the number, is 1-800. I'm just kidding. But we will see you guys more with more podcasts coming up today. It's already almost 4:00. Wow, it's going fast. We'll see you guys real soon.